Hello Internet, this is D-Show1 and today we'll be talking about the recent PS4 conference. As you would know, all sorts of things were revealed about the PS4 and the games that are coming out though, except for the game console itself and the main games that we come to expect though from the Sony franchise, such as Uncharted and God of War and stuff like that. But, of course, they had to have something to say for E3, which I totally look forward to then. It's surely going to be a blast, hopefully, if they get right. I say that, for the most part, for being a conference, they done an excellent job with what they had to show. There weren't any screw-ups, that everything essentially went well, except for the move. Honestly, it's always the move. But hey, they didn't focus on it, so that's a plus. Now, what I'm very curious about this, though, is not simply what they showed there, but what it means for afterwards, what we're going to be seeing next, per se. In that case, how could they make the show bigger, better, essentially, for the E3? Oh, well, I kind of already mentioned it showing the console, right, and also the actual main games of attraction that makes Sony, I guess, the leading franchises, right, of exclusive franchises, mind you. Speaking of exclusives, that also brings it to mind Xbox, Microsoft. What are they going to do after seeing this? Now, don't worry, I'm not going off on a tangent and whatnot. This has a connection, and that is, honestly, I thought that Sony, going to do the waiting game, because, one of the directors or someone from Sony said this, per se. In that case, watch it from IGN or GameSpot, I forget which, but how that they're going to wait and watch and see what Xbox does, and then they'll respond. But then they do this. They come out with a conference and seemingly show their hand of what they're going to do and what their console is all about. So a little confusing, especially before that. They said though that they're going to try to get the lead. So looking from that perspective, earlier on, in the case of any of you watching the whole Sony with the new console thing, you would know that it first started off as, hey, we're going to make a jump, per se, and be the first ones instead of Xbox. And then this guy came out and he said that, well, we're going to wait and see what Xbox does first. And then they totally jumped the gun and have a conference, per se. It was a good conference. That's great. And not only that, though, but with all the games that they had, the graphics and everything, though, it looks very promising. But I do wonder if they did this in reaction to the Wii U, or if this was just going to be planned anyways. That because of the Wii U, they did a little change of plans and whatnot. You never know. I guess you would know if they came out and say it, but up to now, we don't know. Very impressive, though, especially how they're going to have the whole Vita being able to switch the game between that and also the PS4, and also being that, not necessarily, I think it's a rumor right now, they show some sketches, per se. I think it was on IGN, not sketches, but like a drawn version on IGN or GameSpot, where it's like a tablet, essentially. In that case, if that's the case, wow, pretty much they saw what Wii U did, and then they're like, oh, we got that covered. Lineup-wise, their games look, in my preference though, in my opinion, a whole lot better though than the Nintendo Wii U games. Come on, seriously, you got like Killzone and Watch Dogs, and it's pretty hard to compete. But I do wonder though, how would Microsoft answer to this? What games would they show, per se? Because Sony got Bungie on their side, essentially, but that does not mean, of course, it's not an exclusive. In that case, yes, I see a lot of comments and whatnot, like, whoa, it's an exclusive, whatnot. No, it's not. And it's probably going to show up on Microsoft too. I would not be surprised at all. And another thing is, though, that Microsoft, they're probably going to get the Call of Duty on their side again, aren't they? Yeah. And so with those, they're okay. They're good, per se. In that case, they're going to have a really good lineup too. I would assume, I hope, I suppose. In that case, we need this competition, right? In that case, it's Sony and Microsoft. In that case, going head-to-head, though, without competition, then, well, it'll be very disappointing, right? So, for me, preferably, though, Sony fan, essentially. Nonetheless, Microsoft is a very interesting piece of work as well. So in that case, it'll be very interesting to see what they do in response. But in hindsight, looking back at the Sony conference for the PS4, it was excellent. It well, for what it was, that they couldn't show everything. And with that being said, then that they did their job. They kind of hyped it up. They presented it. They let people know that, hey, yes, it does exist and it's going to be out this year at a hopefully good cost. In that case, for that matter, yeah, the cost hasn't been actually revealed, but it would be presumably something tangible, like something that's not infuriating like last time, essentially a little mishap that they had there. Yeah, that didn't really work out, if you know what I'm talking about, right? Price-wise, with a PS3. But, so with that being said then, I'll leave it off with that. So I hope you like this video. If you do, then please rate positively or otherwise. And if you like to make a comment, then by all means, comment below. And also, you could subscribe if you want to keep up with these videos. I know that this is one of the very first, if not the first video that I made regarding to games in general. But in that case, yes, do subscribe because more is to come very soon. Well, that's it for now. So have a great day and see you all next time.